Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate your support and patience and all the great things going on here as you watch today's 2024 Division III Sectional State Tournament. We are moving into the ladies' side of things, Kirk, and this is semifinal action.
Semifinal action, and as we talked earlier today, at least hopefully we mentioned it, this is a qualifying tournament where you have to finish in first place, so you can't really afford to lose here in these semifinals.
Right. There's no wrestle back for first, as far as the state tournament trail.
Yep.
You get in the final, you win, you're in.
Yep. Let's focus here a little bit on mat number 1. This is Luca Gross. Pretty much grew up in the Richland County Kickapoo area. Her family related to the Gary and Mary Gutnick family in Richland Center. Their oldest granddaughter, she takes on in her semifinal action Julian Dorr from Blair Taylor. There's another Kickapoo wrestler down here on mat number 3. Ken will keep an eye on her. That's Marianne Miller, and she's taking on Brooklyn Lull. That's a tough matchup with the Lull name from Fenimore.
Yes.
And then our center mat, we have Gracie Blakowski from Independence as she takes on Autumn McDaniel from Pittsville. No score down there in mat number 1. 2-0 score in our center mat for the young gal from Independence. And then Lull down here right now is kind of having her way with Miller. She's up 2-0, but she's got her in that tight barbed wire, but can't really drag her in bounds yet. 0-0, we're in the last minute down there on mat number 1. Down on mat number 3, Miller was able to get out of bounds. There's a nice deep single leg shot as Gross fights it off with a, Luca fights it off with a crossface. Now she just got to get lower hip position and crank into that. Still no points. Oh, she did give it up there. So the first takedown points were occurred by Dorr from Blair Taylor.
The pinning combination going on the middle mat, mat 2.
And that would be the young girl from Independence there. As Luca did get on the scoreboard with a penalty point, locked hands. So that would be young lady from Independence, Gracie Blakowski, I would call that. Yeah, Blakowski, yep.
Rambalski, I think.
Rambalski? That sounds good too. Okay. Yeah. Luca now has a chance to get an escape here. Nice crossface there. She needs to break that loose. Oh, maybe she can even break that loose and get back points and reversal. Oh, going to be interesting. She did get the reversal, though, but no back points. And she's going to have a 3-2 lead as we go into the second period.
Meanwhile, it's 4-0 as Miller of North Crawford Seneca, Kickapoo Lafarge taking on Brooklyn Lull of Fenimore. And that's a 4-0 score.
We have now Kickapoo wrestlers on all 3 mats as we have Emerson Miller, the freshman, out there now, and she takes on Marissa Klum from Westby. So that's got some really local action there. As Marissa, though, comes in deep with a are we going to get a fall down here?
Well,
Ken?
Awfully close. Lull got a little toss here and has Miller in trouble.
As Klum came up with the first takedown in the middle mat. On our number 1 match, Luca Gross got warned for stalling down there. So we have 3 Kickapoo wrestlers here in action. Right now, Luca's doing a nice job of riding. She's trying to dig out an arm, put it up on the back of, got to keep tossing through papers here. That is Dorr, Julian Dorr. And now she's got her over on her back. I was turned away to catch the name, and she rolled her over and got a nice help. Nelson and pinned her.
Wow.
That was 11 seconds left, so that would be 2:49 pin for Luca Gross as she moves on to the finals.
Oh, congratulations to her.
That's nice as a freshman to get at least in the finals.
Yeah.
She's got a tough opponent in the finals in Kylie Klum, the fine sophomore from Westby.
Yeah, she was a state qualifier and state place winner last year, if I remember right. I think she was 4th, I believe.
Yep, I believe you're right.
We take a look on this mat. Miller was nearly pinned, and she actually was able to get out and get an escape. They're back up on their feet here now.
Right, she tries to fight her way back in this match, but she's going to need a big move. Oh, a nice move here by the other. I believe that's the other Miller from Kickapoo, Emerson Miller. As she finally scored against Klum, and now has got this match. I missed some scoring in there, but now it's 6-5 in that match, so it's a pretty even match.
Well, here comes Lowe. She's going to have a headlock, and she'll get the pin and move into the finals. She will take on Rambalski of Independence a little bit later on here this afternoon.
So that finishes up 107. And in that center match, to get the score right, it's Emerson Miller now out in front, 6-5 over Marissa Klum. Down there on mat number 1, we've moved up to 114-2, and that would be Darcy Jelenik, your number 1 seed, as she takes on Haley Yatkin. Oh, nice lift there. Oh, that took some real.
Now Klum is going to get the pin in the second period. It'll be a 2:24 pin time for Marissa Klum, number 2 seed.
There's a pin here at 120. Oh, that's Collins from Mineral Point. Delilah Collins, she wasn't out there a whole 12 seconds, Ken.
And what weight was that?
That's at 120.
120, okay. Collins, all right, she moves on.
Yeah, she's a returning place winner, I think, too, from last year in Madison.
So Jelenik and Yatkin are still wrestling. That's on mat number 1.
Yep.
Klum
came up with the win there against Miller, didn't she? Yeah.
Yep. So, and Yatkin loses here to Jelenik. So Jelenik in the finals.
Yep, against North Crawford Seneca against Westby in the finals there. We have another Kickapoo wrestler on the mat, and that would be Madison Glass here at that's up at 132. Madison is going to be down there at 120. At the middle mat, we have the young lady from Lancaster, Amelia Jansen, as she takes on Brooklyn Mumm of Fenimore. Then on mat number 3, that's Catherine McElhos from Brookwood. She takes on Mandy Townsend right now. Townsend, she got the early takedown, and she did get 3 back points. She has a 5-0 lead there.
I'm sorry, McElhos. I got it. I had to think about that. I'm like, no, that didn't sound right. Why am I off on that?
Okay, McElhos.
McElhos, yeah.
All right, 5-0. That's Townsend from Kickapoo Lafarge out in front. Down at the far end there at 120, that's Madison Glass with an early 2-0 lead as she takes on Lily Davis from Independence. And then in our center mat, we're at 126. And right now, that's a 4-0 score in favor of the young lady from Lancaster, and that would be Amelia Johnson. Yes, it's still, and there's the pin.
Oh, wow.
By the young lady from Lancaster.
Yeah, 126.
And that would be 137, or 127 was the pin time there for her.
So Amelia Johnson in the finals against Groom of North Crawford Seneca.
Yep. So that'll bring up another Kickapoo wrestler. We're going to move up to 145 now as we're quickly getting done with this round because there's not many matches left. We should see our young lady from Ithaca Weston out here pretty soon, though. We don't want to miss her match.
That's true.
We're up at 132 down here on mat number 1. That's still Townsend with a 5-1 lead over McKellos. And we need Kickapoo down there on mat number 1. That's at 120. Just came up with a fall. And that would be Madison Glass with 3 seconds left in the first period.
Oh.
So that would be a 157 pin for her. So quickly we're going to zip through these last few matches here. And we're going to be up to 235 here real quick, I would bet, Ken.
McElhos did pick up an escape in the end of that first period. She trails 5-1.
Yep.
Catherine from Brookwood.
And I believe the Ithaca girl, the Manning girl, you get down there. She's on mat number 1. You keep track of that one,
Oh, she's
Ken.
already out there. My goodness. All right.
Yep.
So Kaylee coming in. She wound up getting the top seed here. And take a look here just a second here with who she is wrestling.
Royal, I believe.
Okay. And
I think so.
Don't know waiting for that name to pop up here on the screen. Looks like they're still rebooting that.
I can't hold my papers apart.
4 wrestlers in this 235-pound weight class. And
yes, it's Addison Ebert, a freshman
okay.
from Royal.
So 2 freshmen out here.
Yep. Then you have Mineral Point and Parkview on the bottom side. A freshman and a junior down there. Down here in our 132-pound bout, it's again.
Going to get a takedown here by Manning.
Go ahead.
And she's going to throw in a half Nelson here, trying to get the turn. And she has Ebert in trouble, and she's going to get the pin.
Yep, nice job.
Nice work in there by Manning, and she will have the victory here in 58 seconds. So Kaylee looking to move on here. She's now in the finals.
Yep. Bi-state runner-up.
Yeah. Had a great tournament there. Had a couple of wins coming from behind.
We're still here at 132 now. It's still Townsend out in front with 25 seconds to go, a 10-1 lead. Then in the center mat at 145, we have Angelica Stedman from Kickapoo Lafarge. She's taking on, oh, wow, Ken. Can you pronounce that one?
Let me look at it is she up on here now?
Yeah, she's wrestling in the center there. Weist from Lancaster.
Kashila, I would say.
Kashila. These are pretty names.
Yeah,
pretty
Kashalia.
names. Too bad I can't pronounce them. Now we got our other 235 bout going on down there at the far end. That's our last bout of the round here for the female action, and that is Emily Heisner from Mineral Point, a freshman with a 9-6 wrestler, and she takes on Sydney Cohn from Parkview with a 19-5 record. And there's a comeback. Oh, she was winning there in the center. So that's a pin there by Weiss from Lancaster. And now getting close to a pin down here on mat number 3, and that would be for Townsend from Kickapoo Lafarge. So Kickapoo Lafarge has got the larger numbers here for most of the teams, and they're so far shown pretty well in this round.
They brought 7 wrestlers today to the tournament. Very nice job.
And they got several of them in the finals now.
Well, we got 2 matches here to go, and then we'll set the stage for championship, 3rd place matches. The guys' side, boy, tell you what.
There'll be some barn burners there.
I think so.
Basically, if you're in the finals, you're going to Madison.
Yep.
And if you're in the 3rd place match, you got to win to get in. They will wrestle 2 mats. I imagine at that point we'll be on mat 1 and mat 2. And they do have to keep them together because of the potential for a wrestle back from 3rd to 2nd.
That's right.
So that'll stay together. We're down to the last 45 seconds here. And again, Townsend, there's the pin. Just as soon as I get ready to say it's getting close, she ends up getting the fall there. So now we're down to our last match here at 235. And she's close to a fall down there, the young lady from Parkview. But the period's going to run out, and she's going to have a 5-0 lead going into the second period. So we finished 32. 38 is done. So then we jump with all those buys there. Basically a couple weight classes here. We'll tell you right now, at 132, we already have a champion because we only have 1 wrestler. And that was, she's from River Ridge, isn't she? Yeah, Brittany Pesh.
Okay, could be, yeah.
I think that's the young lady we saw up at Kickapoo. Lee Griffin Invitational. She's a nice wrestler. Too bad she didn't get competition here today. And then our champion, which I know darn well, she's a heck of a wrestler too, is that Rachel Schauer from Fenimore. Right now, she's 21-0. I guess I wouldn't have went in that weight class against her either.
Right.
Close to a fall down there.
Yep.
There it is.
Yep. That'll take care of
That'll take care of the women's action for this round. So that would be Parkview with a pin there. 30 seconds into the second period, so that'd be a 2:30 pin there for her. So we're set for the finals in the women's action. That'll be coming up very soon after we do the men's first and third place matches coming up next on our broadcast.
Welcome back to Mineral Point High School, Mineral Point, Wisconsin. Ken Manning, Western Wisconsin Video Productions, along with Kirk Lear, as we get ourselves set for the championship and third place round. And Kirk, I tell you what, a lot of bragging rights all set up here. Championship, you go in as a number one. Third place match, you need to win that to go to state.
You know, to win here is very important, but now that they seed the state tournament, it isn't as big as it was before. But when you have the defending state runner-up down here from Pecatonic, Argyle, and Grunfelder, you know, he knows he wants to be coming out of here in first place.
Yes.
But Parker Milsna gives him a solid opponent, and right now Grunfelder's showing why he's defending runner-up in the state. Nice first takedown there.
Yeah, he is. He's a tough young man here when it comes to wrestling. We're going to have the screen, the right, upper right, and lower left are actually going to be the championship matches here, and I'm going to try and get a couple things squared up here. So
I'll keep track of things. It's a 2-1 score here in favor of Grunfelder. Still haven't got the third place match going down there between Glassbrenner and Grimslid. That'll be a good match down there. As Ken mentioned earlier, win then that third place match, and now you're going to the state tournament. So that's probably the most. Well, they're all important because they're just everything means a lot to these young men.
Absolutely.
But that one down there is probably a bigger one because at least it gets you to Madison. It's right here. Grunfelder uses a nice facelift and now a reverse half, and he's got young man Milsna in a lot of trouble. And is going to get 3 near fall, and then he's going to give up to the escape. Not to say that Milsna isn't earning the escape there, but Grunfelder is another one. He just just so quick, Ken, just like a cat.
He is.
You know, and he just easily did a nice snap down. And, you know, Parker's only a sophomore. Grunfelder's been there several times now, and you know darn well with his club wrestling and everything else. He's just one of those young men that's just fun to watch here in Southwest Wisconsin. Now he's using that armbar tilt that we talked about, where he just rolls the guy over on his shoulders. He's basically got an armbar and a wrist, and he just tilts him over there. It's going to be, depending on where we're at, he didn't break that hold. So it's going to be 11-3 after the first period. Far end, Grimslid now has a nice double leg takedown, but to pick Glassbrenner off the mat and keep him away from getting his feet back on the mat is a tough thing. There's 2, though, as Grimslid gets the first takedown. Grunfelder takes down here against Milsna, 11-3.
Well, Grimslid and Glassbrenner, they wrestled last week, and I don't remember the turnout on that.
Okay.
But I almost have to think that Grimslid, I wonder if he wouldn't have been, I'm looking at the setup here.
Grimslid would have probably been the 2 seed.
Yeah.
So he got second.
So he would have been
week
second, yeah.
behind Grunfelder.
So Grimslid defeated.
Caston Rustler went north, didn't he?
Yeah, he was up there.
Yep.
So that means that Grimslid did defeat Glassbrenner last week at the Super Regional.
Yep.
It's always tough to wrestle and get that win the following week. We'll see what happens.
Yep. Right now it's 18-6 in favor of Grunfelder as he scores another takedown. Now it's 20-6. He's just going to decide to go for the tech fall here. It's 20-7 right now. And that's it. Barely get it out of my mouth, and he gets another takedown. That'll be a tech fall. With he was like 3-12 into this period, but a tech fall for the fine runner-up in state last year at this weight class, too, for Aiden Grunfelder.
Well, right now, let's take a look. If Grimslid can pick up the win, then they're, let's see.
Grimslid wins, he's going to stay right where he's
stay
at.
Third place because he lost to Milsna.
Yep, he lost to Milsna.
So if Glassbrenner wins, then we'd have a wrestle back.
Still a lot of time to wrestle down there. We're only a minute into the second period. Right now it's Grimslid out in front, but with those long arms and long legs of Glassbrenner, and Grimslid's a tall young man for himself at 106 pounds.
Yeah.
But you never know when Glassbrenner can get that cradle in. He's also got a nice arm bar, wrist tilt too that he likes to do. And when he puts a deep waist in, Ken, it's a deep waist.
It is.
His hands clear around and on the side of Grimslid. Young man had to work a little bit to get down to 106. I don't believe he got there until the conference. No, I don't think he was in the conference tournament at 106.
Yeah.
He didn't wrestle there until Tuesday night that he wrestled in the conference.
Oh, sure.
The
team
which would have
sectional?
been team super regional he wrestled in.
Oh, there,
Take
okay.
that back, yep. Super
That's true. He would have wrestled, yeah.
He had wrestled super regional. Was the first time he got down there. Now he's got coming close. If he can get him to kick through, and he does. Oh, he's got a nice half Nelson in there.
Wow. So much leverage.
Now what are we going to have? Oh, we're going to have some blood time, I believe. Oh, yeah. Grimsland's got one heck of a bloody nose there.
Yeah, yeah.
But he only gave up the 2 near fall. He didn't give up 3 near fall. But he did get rode the whole second period.
Yeah.
So it is 2-0, and it's going to be Glassbrenner's choice. But here's the case here, the debate, Ken, as we've talked about before. I just rode you the whole second period and turned you. Do I want to go down and see if you can ride me?
Right.
Or do I want to keep riding you on top?
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see what he chooses, especially since Fenimore's so good at riding.
Oh, and you'd have to think, here's the other one, too, like you had mentioned, if last week was the first week at the Super Regional for him to make 106, which would have been 109, he probably didn't have a lot of gas in the tank, so to speak, getting down there that first time. It's always tough.
Yep.
Now he's got another week under his belt of being there.
Adjusting to the weight. He had to make weight on Tuesday night, so,
yep.
He's probably more adjusted to it and feels more comfortable there. Gives me a chance as long as we got a little break. As you knew, I was looking to the Northern Division II sectional. Just bring everybody up to date how the Richland Center wrestlers are doing. Ethan Haiti is in the finals. He's going to have a tough row to hoe there as he takes on Haken Peterson for the second week in a row.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Yep, and so that'll be a tough match. But then both the seniors for Richland Center, Cole Brenninger at 190, he's wrestling, I believe, a Bellevue wrestler or Sugar River for third place at 190, so he's still got a shot to win to get in. And then Teague Perkins came back very nicely in the wrestleback round and put himself into the third place match, but he'll take on Lockington from Mel Min in that match, and that's a rematch of the semifinals of last week that Teague came out on the shorter end of that one, but we'll see. He did a nice job after injury opting out of his semifinal. He came back and had a nice major decision in his wrestleback to get into third. We get action going here again. As we mentioned before, we wondered where Glassbrenner was going to go. He decided to go up on his feet, which is an interesting choice for me because Grimsland did take him down in the first period.
Yeah.
So they go takedowns. Minute 30 left. Tied score, so the takedown is going to be really valuable to who's going to be in the driver's seat here. Again, as we've seen many times, as Ken has mentioned, nice shot, though, as I was just going to say that the Fenimore wrestler had a nice Russian arm tie in there, but Grimsland now comes in deep with that crossover and got Glassbrenner on his hip and got the takedown. So now we're going to see how well this is the first time. Well, he rode him after he got the first takedown in the first period. So,
That's true, yeah.
Yep, so we'll see how Grimsland does here at riding. And that was probably part of the choice of why. Oh, now he's trying for that Granby.
I called it. Yeah, it looks like he's got a Gazzoni potential, but you can do either what we call Granby getting the leg or a Gazzoni where you come out the side. Mm-hmm. But Grimsland did a great job, Kirk, of blocking that.
Yep, and he hooked the leg now, and now he's in a better position to ride. As we mentioned, down the last 35 seconds now, so Grimsland here, Jaron, the junior, if he can stay out of it, well, again, he's trying for that either
Gazzoni
or just the Granby roll type thing,
yeah.
Whatever he can get there. Down to now 15 seconds to go, and now Grimsland's got him broke down. He's got a nice armbar, and he just needs to stay tough with that and ride it hard. Even drive in that hip a little bit more in the backside there. That's where you need to just drive a little more there.
Yeah.
8 seconds, 7 seconds to go here. Just needs to stop this first move, and if nothing else, maybe even just push him away.
Yep.
Just don't want to get caught somewhere where you can get reversed. Got a nice arm bar in, but you got to be careful now. He can come with a switch. Good job. Not that we were cheering against the Fenimore wrestler, but they got a lot of wrestlers in here. I'd like to see the squad from North Crawford get a young athlete to state.
And they will. They will go just that way. 1, 2, 3. And nice job there in the area.
Yep, they're all three from, we know they're from Southwest. And we expected Aiden Grunfelder. This should be an interesting match here. Our next one at 113 is we have his teammate, which would be Lucas Orloff, the sophomore, with now a 43-5 record. And he takes on the state champion / third place finisher and number 1 ranked wrestler from Aquinas, Jake Fitzpatrick. Right away, Fitzpatrick is in on a low single leg.
Oh, we got some back points here off from a takedown on the third place match.
We'll get that out there now, too. Yeah. That's Elliot Kite.
Oh, boy.
And he's going to get the fall here pretty quick on the young man from, that'd be Brendan Rick from Royal. But Rick got out of it. Did get three near falls, so it's 5-1 down there. But still no score in our championship match. Fitzpatrick is doing just one heck of a job of making some single leg shots or some duck under shots. But so far, Orloff has been able to counter that.
Brendan Rick coming in at 31-13. Kite at 23-21. So right now an upset brewing over there on mat number 1.
Ooh, that kind of hurt. Orloff tried to go for a throw there, and it slipped off. He landed right on the back of his head, and Fitzpatrick did a beautiful job of countering that.
We're going to get a reversal over here. Maybe it was a takedown. It's 7-3. It was a takedown for Kite, and then a reversal for Rick, and it's 7-3 Kite.
30-some seconds in both matches left in the first period. So far, both of them been pretty tight. Just a little bit more scoring down there with Kite getting the early back points.
Yeah, Rick trying to come up with another takedown as Kite has the point for the escape. It's 8-3.
Now it's Fitzpatrick doing a fine job coming in over the top with a nice leg ride. He's got basically just got the one leg figure forward and just being extremely intense on the upper body and the head of Orloff. I can guarantee may get through this first period, but if they continue this type of action, we're going to see our official hit somebody for stalling.
Yeah, well, you're right.
It's just the way I know the man that's out there.
Oh, you want to see the action going.
Yep. Well, these are two fine wrestlers. So you're going to be a little bit, you're going to give them some time.
Yeah.
But they're towards the end of the period, the last 20 seconds, they were both content to finish the period. Fitzpatrick started down. Go ahead.
I was just going to say a quick escape, and now trying to come up with a takedown is Kite of Mineral Point. He's up 9-3 if he gets this takedown, and there it is, and maybe some back points. He's got a half Nelson. He is all over Rick.
And Kite is only a freshman, came
Yeah.
in here with basically a 500 record at 22 and 21, and the young man looks like he's going to punch a ticket to the state tournament.
Boy, he's got that half Nelson. He's got everything looking good.
Our championship match is Fitzpatrick now putting on another takedown clinic. He's up 7-1 with about a minute to go in the second period.
Rick really battling here, trying to get back to his base, and he is so close. And then Kite readjusts, looking for a near side cradle.
Yeah, if he could put him over again, it would be 14-3. There's that first stalling call on Orloff. I mean, it's tough for him to do a lot here, but he is really basically laying on his belly.
Kite now in great position here. He stepped over the leg, has that near side cradle locked up. Rick trying to keep those shoulders off the mat.
That's partly you can see why Orloff doesn't want to come up to his knees, because when he does come up to his knees, Fitzpatrick's good at putting the legs in a power half.
14-3 now after the 3 near fall has been awarded for Kite of Mineral Point.
Down to the last 10 seconds, 7-1 now. Now, if I'm Mr. Official now, I'm maybe looking at Fitzpatrick doing a nice job of, there you go.
Yep.
Yep. He was trying to ride out the period again, and the official saw enough of that and hit him for stalling. So now it's equal. Both of them got a stalling call. Both active wrestlers here, though.
Very much.
Gave Orloff a chance for a Granby try there, but 7-1 after 2 periods, Ken.
Kite looks over to Coach Curtis Fiedler, and he says, take a top, and if you get in trouble, just push them away. Well, that's what happens. Back up on their feet, and a great shot here by Kite. He's going to get the takedown and some more back points, and Kirk, he has just been on a roll.
Yep. That time Rick was hoping to maybe do some upper body stuff, but he got well too straight or too tall, and Kite just drove in and took him down. 2
for the near fall, and now going right into an armbar series. He steps over, more back points. It's going to be a tech fall if Rick gets out of this one, and there it is. Well, I tell you what, 20-4 is your score here in the third place match. Kite is in to the state tournament.
Yep, and that's going to give him a shot. Imagine they wrestled last week, though. Orloff and Kite going to be wrestling for a true second.
Yep, that's right.
Because right now, Fitzpatrick has, with basically a minute to go here in the third period, he has a nice 9-1 lead after he got that takedown just a few probably about 20 seconds ago. And again, he's just riding in extremely hard. You know, it's kind of hard to say Orloff is doing a lot of stalling, although when you hang your head on the mat, a lot of times it's not going to be overlooked. But every time he tries to basically build a base, and it's a good call by the official. You know, if you're not going to let him get to a base, and all you're going to do is keep him flattened out, and you're not going to get out to the side with it, it is a good call to at least make him work here. Orloff is hard to say with a kid his quality is semi-overpowered, but that's just how quality a wrestler Jake Fitzpatrick is now. I think they update the records here. He's probably 40-0 right now. I think when we got these, he was already in the semis. So that may be even updated. So maybe he's 39-0. Now the stalling call goes the other way. It's one of those now they don't really matter. Jake Fitzpatrick's going to be your champion here. But Lucas Orloff, he's going to have to come back, and he's going to have to wrestle that fired-up freshman.
Tell you what, that's a great job by the freshman. And, of course, a great job here by Jake Fitzpatrick. He picks up the championship at 113 pounds.
10-2.
We will now move into the 120-pound weight class as we will look at Roger Flagey of Aquinas coming in at 36-7. Going to take on Jaden Geyer of Westby, and Geyer, the junior, at 39-5.
These two both were at the state tournament last year. And Geyer lost to Flagey in the match that we just had last round, the match from either who was going to go for third and who was going to go for fifth. And they both then lost their placement matches, but they both stood on the award stand. Jaden at number 6 and Flagey at number 4. On the far end down there, in our third place match, we have the fine freshman from Riverdale, Lakota Brewer, as he takes on, in the third place match, Cade Birchman from Fenimore. So you do this championship match, Ken, because we have Westby in there. Now keep an eye on the third place match this time.
Okay. Well, both these wrestlers are trying to get some hand and wrist control here, as Geyer able to kind of swat that hand off. Now they'll lock up with that right hand with each other. And again, here's a nice little shot trying to get a high crotch potential fireman's. That's a short fireman's by Flagey. He's going to get the takedown. No back points there, as Geyer is able to bail out and not give up anything else. He kind of realized where he was at, and he was able to basically belly down. We'll take a look here. 2-0 the score here with 42 seconds remaining in period number 1.
First takedown by Brewer on the far end. He leads now 2-0.
Geyer stands up and looking to try and get a reversal here. He's awfully close to getting at least one. They're going to give him the one as Flagey goes back in on the attack. He's got that left leg locked up. Geyer but he just could not get any leverage on that. Tried to throw the whizzer in, but Flagey went to the opposite corner and picked up the takedown. Kind of one of those situations, Kirk, where you think of a stool and you got, whether it's 3 or 4 legs, and Flagey took one leg out from underneath and was able to get the takedown.
Since he wasn't totally able to get all the separation he would like, it was almost, let's say, maybe not a plus for him to get the escape there, because he never totally was out of at least some chance of control by Flagey. And
he almost needed to break completely away, right?
Well, I'm not going to say it was a wrong call by the official, but
no.
In Geyer's case, he almost needed more separation to get away from. Flagey just had enough that he didn't have control of him, but he still had an influence over his next move.
Absolutely.
Now it's an escape down at the far end there by Birchman. Looked like he was going to get the takedown, and he just got a little bit out of position, and Lakota Brewer came around and got another takedown, and now leads 4-2.
Down to 1:20 to go here in this championship match in the second period, and now Flagey is going to get a tilt here on Geyer. Geyer is able to kick out, but there's 2 near fall, and Flagey now has increased the lead to 7-1.
We've seen this the last 3 weeks now between Fenimore and Iowa Grant Highland, and now even Aquinas. The number of tilts that these young men, and even several of the Riverdale athletes, the number of good tilts they can do. And we got to throw a couple of those Peck kids in there too. So especially Grunfelder is just, they're just tremendously quick in getting those tilts.
Out of bounds they go. They'll come back with 50 seconds remaining in second period. Geyer with a ways to go here. There's going to be a caution on Flagey with the quick start. But again, trailing by 6 is Geyer.
Yeah. One thing, like we said before, with those tilts, you almost feel helpless if you're the bottom wrestler, because it's kind of like you're caught in a Granby or the Athens roll or whatever. You just don't have a lot of control over your body, but you're giving up back points.
Yep.
Birchman trying to get an escape down there, but then again with this spaghetti wrestler, and that this fine freshman from Riverdale, he does a nice job of spaghetti wrestling and keeps control. 4-2 down there, Ken.
Well, and you take a look, if things work out the way they are right now, there would be no wrestle back, because it would be, right now it's Flagey, Geyer, and Brewer. Of course,
Geyer's in a lot of trouble right now, Ken.
The clock
saved him there.
It did. He's going to give up 3. Flagey really on a good mission right now. Coming into this tournament, Flagey with a record of 36-7. A sophomore, just having a very nice year, knocking on the door for a sectional championship.
This time around, yep. Last year he was 4th in state.
Trying to take it up a notch or 2.
Yes, he is. Oh, nice job by Brewer down there getting another takedown. So it's even looking more and more, yeah, like you just said earlier, Ken, that we might get our second weight class where we don't have a wrestleback.
6-2 the score down there. It's 10-1 here in the championship. Geyer trying to come out from the top here, but boy, he's in a tough spot here. Flagey will get the reversal.
Minute 20 down there and about a minute 20 down here on the championship.
Only about a handful of seconds separating the two.
Brewer now just doing a really tough job of riding in over the top, controlling the arms and the shoulders of Birchman.
Again, thanks to all of the fine sponsors that you see in that lower right corner of your screen. We appreciate all their support. Thanks to all of you watching out there and for passing the word on the Western Wisconsin Video Production. We are watching WWVP LLC, the Westby channel. Here's a pinning combination now, and Flagey is going to get the pin.
Oh, nice job by him.
Yeah, it's going to be a 4:17 or 5:17 pin time for Flagey as he is going to go on to Madison now in the number 1 spot. That means he will not have to wrestle until Friday.
And he's glad he moved up a couple of weight classes to get away from Brunfelder and Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Of course, his teammate, he didn't have a whole lot of choice when his teammate decided to stay at 113.
It's like, okay, I guess I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to you, Kirk, in that final.
Just down the last 15 seconds, Lakota Brewer, the young freshman, he's doing a nice job there. He just got to stay under control, and Birchman's just looking now to get Brewer jacked up in the air so he can get some kind of toss in there. It's just not going to happen as Brewer just stays low and powers in. Going to be an 8-2 final that we have down there, and as Ken mentioned earlier, there will be no wrestleback, and those will be your 3 qualifiers for the state tournament.
Well, we're going to move to 126 pounds, and Kirk, why don't we set the stage for that one?
All righty. Here we go, and we're finally we're mentioning some new schools here. There's one of them anyway. Alexander Radovich from New Lisbon, he takes the mat here with a 24-9 record, and he'll take on another state qualifier in Brody Meese from Riverdale. In our 3rd place match, we have Danny Finley. We're having a hard time Finley is out there this time. We're waiting for the Fenimore wrestler, and that is Colton Tollefson there. So we got freshman against senior down there. And down here we have sophomore against senior down here. Meese took a trip to the state tournament last year too, and he ended up 5th.
Okay.
At 113, so he's up 1 weight class. Or 2 weight classes, excuse me.
No score yet on this championship match.
Nope. Young man from Lisbon is really, I guess I don't remember him that much from earlier in the year, in a couple tournaments. And, But boy, he's wrestling here tough today at the, although he won his sectional up there, super regional.
Yeah, he's had a nice career, I would say. Very, very solid wrestler here for the Rockets.
Yep. Close enough that he probably gets a lot of sparring time in with Reed Sawyer, who's coming up here in a little bit.
Yep.
2 quality wrestlers there. 0-0 there in that match. And our other match at the other end, it's 0-0 down there too. So nobody really doing any scoring here. Some shots and reshots. But nobody really close to scoring yet.
It's a senior Finley against Tollefson, the freshman.
Yep. Finley in deep now on a single leg, but Tollefson doing a good job sagging his hips as Meese made a nice single leg shot there, but Radovich countered that. Now there's the first points here on both mats. is Finley finally came in deep on that single leg and just kept driving in and finally got on the top position. So he leads 2-0. We're down to the last 5 seconds in the championship match, and that's going to end up 0-0.
Now we'll get the flip of the disc, and we'll see if Green, well, they're going to defer here.
He hasn't read our playbook, has he?
No, he has not. We're going to have to chat with him.
Our playbook says 0-0 score, choose bottom.
Choose down and get away.
Yep.
That's where Meese goes, and Brody will start out here. He's got his head on the mat as a quick arm chop brings him down. He's going to work his way back up. Now he's trying to peel that arm off, that half Nelson off.
Nice try for a switch here. Keeps coming to his feet. See where he get away. Nice job.
That was a nice bit of chain wrestling there, because even though that switch wasn't there, that separation between the two, the hips of Meese and the hips of Radovich, he was able to stand up.
Radovich went to just trying to hang on there, and that was a mistake, because sooner or later the separation came, and then Meese was able to rotate out.
Yep.
1-0, 1:15 left to go in that match. We're in the second period down in our third place match, and it's still 2-0 in favor of Finley. And Finley is in the down position there, wrestling Tollefson, as Ken said earlier, only a freshman there for. So even with some of the kids that Fenimore is losing this year, they got some nice freshmen coming back next year, especially in the lower weights.
Oh, they do. Yes.
Yep.
Going to hang on. You're going to hang on to those guys, and I don't think Fenimore is going to go away next year.
No. The one thing, like you and I talked about on the way down, and we were talking about maybe not have the name of it right, but they do have this competitive multiplier that's going to be implemented next year in the WIAA and all sports. So right now it's listed that Fenimore will be going up to Division II, and another school in our area, Prairie Sheen, will probably be moving up to Division I.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting with that. And you look around the state, Luxembourg Casco, another one of those teams that they may get bumped up, because they're, if I remember right, aren't they a two-time state team champion?
There's no question there. They'll get bumped up to Division I, too. If Prairie's going to go there, and Prairie's been runner-up the last couple of years,
yep.
You got to believe that Casco's going to go up, too.
Yeah.
Right now, Casco is favored to win Division II coming in a couple weeks here, and Fenimore is favored to win Division I. 3. And then Kaukauna, to be honest with you, right now is favored to win Division I.
Yep.
Oh, nice quick move there as we start the third period, and it looked like Radovich was going to get an escape, but he didn't, again, like we talked about in the last match, he didn't get that separation that he should, and now it's Meese coming in with a chance to lock up a cradle, and he could put Radovich in a lot of trouble.
This looks like it could be tight.
Oh, and he's got it now, and he's got the leg already hooked. How you doing down there in your farm mat?
Well, let's take a peek here. It's 3-0 right now in favor of Green, which is Finley, the senior.
If Meese could just walk this around and get on top of it, I think he could pin Radovich. Now he's up on top. But Radovich did a good job of kicking out of it.
Finley, right now, if things stay as they are, there would be no wrestle back. But again, Finley would need to win down there. He's up 5-0.
He's just doing a really good job, but he's still got a minute to go here. He wants to be aggressive here, Ken, but there's really no reason to take a huge risk either and give this up.
Right.
You got yourself locked into the number 1 position to go to the state tournament, so you just kind of hang out here a little bit.
And it's a pinning combination, so you're not really stalling.
No, they can't call a stalemate because he keeps tipping him over just enough. So now he's down to the last 25 seconds. Is the proverbial smart guy in the upper deck says, just stay where you are, young man.
Yep. Finley up 5-1 down there on mat 1, third place match.
I heard that shout from below. Just stay right where you are, Brody. Nice job by Brody Meese.
Yes, very good.
4-0 win for him as he'll go back to the state tournament and see if he can improve on his place finish from last year.
Finley going to try and get some back points here. He does have the takedown after giving up Might have gave up a reversal and then got it back. It's 7-3, and they're down to 40 seconds to go there. So he's sitting in a good spot.
So again, it looks like if it stays the way it is with 30 seconds to go, we will not have any wrestle back at 126.
Finley up 7-3 as time is continuing to run down. They go out of bounds. 27 seconds remaining here. And Towson is going to have to really put some stuff together here right now, the young freshman from Fenimore.
That gives me a chance as we got a little bit of a break here to outpipe this next match coming up here at 132. This will be round 3 of the Rowan Carey Hunter Stevens here in the last couple weeks. Matter of fact, though, I think I know they wrestled up at the Bi-State too, so it's probably round 4 or 5. You know, because I think they got a chance to wrestle in the dual meet, unless Carey might have been hurt during that period.
Well, Finley is going to get this one. He's in a great spot here. He can just kind of hang out trying to get that Oklahoma, but it's not going to matter. And Finley will get the victory, and he'll be your third-place finisher.
7-3.
On his way to the state tournament.
I just got to believe here with the experience that Rowan Carey has got, and not take anything, I just can't ever take anything away from Hunter Stevens. He's impressed us from day one that we've seen him, Ken. But Rowan Carey, you know, the more he gets back into physical shape, the tighter this match I can see getting.
Yep. Yeah, it's tough when you can't do your normal workout and get your, you need the cardiovascular and everything, not to mention your muscle memory.
Yep. It's tough when you mess up a knee or a leg, because it's really not a whole lot of activity you can do in that case.
Yep.
This is going to be a barn burner here that we're looking forward to. And no loss of activity on the other end there either, Ken, as we're going to have Gunnar Wopat, who wants to get back to the state tournament, but he's going to have to get past a determined senior and Jacob Orloff.
Right, both of these guys seniors, and they both have probably been down there and would love nothing more than to finish their career at the Kohl Center. Take a look here at the records. Wopat coming in at 40-7. Jacob Orloff 37-10. Meanwhile, Carey, the junior for Mineral Point, 30-5. Hunter Stevens, that sophomore sensation, as Kirk mentioned, 41-1.
His only loss to Carey at the Bi-State, so they must not have wrestled in a duel then.
Yeah.
It was just a beautiful watch there. Hunter had what most people would say a patent single leg on Carey, and then he did that, which you don't like because you saw a couple kids get hurt doing it, but he did that submarine dive back to grasp his own ankle, and they spaghettied out of that.
Yep. Well, Kirk will let you take that championship match.
And there's an island. You're going to get deep, but they go out of bounds. Stevens so far has been the aggressor to get the single leg. Last week it was a pretty close match, but then Hunter caught Rowan once and put him on his back, didn't he, and kind of stretched it out?
Yeah, he did.
Nice takedown there by Hunter as he's, just the more active so far. Rowan's got to kick it in gear here as he's giving up the takedown, but at least he didn't give up any turn there.
No score down in the third place match yet. Of course, just about a minute 20 into it, 40 seconds remaining in period number 1.
Real nice job of hand control there and limb control. He just kept all 4 of his limbs moving so that it was really hard for Hunter to hang on to enough to keep Carey under control. 30 seconds left, 2-1 score in favor of Hunter. But so far, Hunter has been the aggressive getting legs. It's almost the case here now that Rowan's kind of looking for maybe if he can get a throw, but another deep single leg here, trying to reach across to get it a double. A little bit careful here. This is Carey's, let's say, bandaged leg or whatever, protected leg. Stalemate, 6 seconds, Ken.
Meanwhile, no score on the third place match, so we're going to go with the flip of the disc to see what happens. And again, Orloff is going to defer.
You tell quality wrestlers when there's 6 seconds left, neither one of them was going to expend any extra effort. They just stood there and looked at each other. To the official's credit, he wasn't calling stalling there.
Yep.
Well,
Well, go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, Wopat was started in the down position. He's going to get up and out, and the first point's on the board here. And now Wopat trying to cut the corner to get the takedown. They're going to give it to him.
Carey initiated the action to start this period as they started neutral. I believe Carey must have chose that, but then again it was Hunter getting in on that single leg, but he wasn't able to finish it as they got to the out-of-bounds line. Carey so far kind of a little bit on his heels, I would say, Ken, because it seems like Stevens has been the more active to at least get into the leg. Another nice double leg shot here. Carey doing a good job of sprawling. Hunter doesn't want to get himself overextended because Carey still has that leverage issue going for him.
Yeah. Oh, Wopat just picked up a pin.
Wow, that was big.
He had a cradle. It was like a far side cradle, and he gets the pin.
I'll have to go back and watch that one. It's hard to turn away from this up here, but like you said, it just ended that quick.
2:52 pin time.
Good job for Gunnar Wopat as he punches his ticket back to the state tournament.
My goodness.
Now he just has to wait and see if he can get a wrestle back here. So he's going to be a cheerleader for Rowan Carey to see if he can get himself into that second place match.
That's right.
But right now it's still 2-1. We're still dancing for takedowns here. And this is a case, unlike a 285-pound match, it's not really dancing, it's strategic moves.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right.
Yep. So far, though, and I kind of agree. Oh, wow, I didn't catch him warning for stalling earlier, but Rowan has been the one that's gone out of bounds more. They didn't give the point there, though. Yeah, now they gave the point.
Yep.
It's 3-1 in favor of Stevens. There, the Mineral Point coaches. It was finally a decent shot that Carey had on a leg, and I don't necessarily disagree with Brad. He made a nice call there, felt it was a bad angle on Stevens' leg and stopped it potentially dangerous. Again, now it's Stevens in deep on a single leg. He stepped over the leg now, but again, the boundary line is the factor here. Reaching across. Oh, he's got a shot at it, but I don't think he can pull his hips back in.
He had that whizzer in, but
he's got to keep himself in. Yeah. Carey still got the whizzer in, and that's the only thing that's saving him, Ken. And the time is going to save him, too.
Yep.
3-1. Now
wow.
We'll see. Oh, I did have that wrong last. It was Stevens that was down, and he got the escape. Or he must have chose neutral. That's right, because he had the early takedown. Carey's down, trailing 3-1. You know, now I think back on that, I think Stevens chose top because Carey got the escape to make it 2-1.
Oh.
And now he got the stalling point to make it 3-1. Oh, nice job there. Nice job hanging on. Really not hanging on, but now we're going to get into some spaghetti stuff again. And it's just, oh, now Carey's actually in the better position because you get in the spaghetti places, you can't keep your head down very long.
Yeah.
Or you can get out spaghettied.
Absolutely. That's where you're right.
It's really leveraged. You can get out leveraged, but nice job by both of them there. This is fun stuff to watch. 1:23 left here. 3-1 in favor of Hunter Stevens. You see two young athletes like this go, it's just like one tack after another tack after another tack after another tack, or counter, whatever you want to call it. It's just my play, your play. Right now, Hunter is doing a nice job of, riding here, but now we're gonna get into some blood time. Can imagine two guys like this banging, that there's never any blood.
Yeah, that's just it.
We saw that Tuesday night with especially those three teams going at each other. Probably the most blood you and I both have saw this year.
Yeah.
And it was just because they were that intense of activity going all the time. And the guys with the sponges and the cleanup tools were kept very busy.
They were. Well, let's take a quick look at this matchup here. As you had said, Carey, if Carey picks up the win, Wopat, who just won by a fall over Orloff of Peck Argyle, there would be a wrestle back as Wopat and Stevens have not met.
Yep.
If Stevens would happen to come back here, and
Stevens is
winning
right now.
He is actually winning right now.
So he's
true.
in the driver's seat right now. But Carey's got to come back for the win, and then Gunner will get a chance at the second place.
Yeah. So if it stays as it is, there would not be a wrestle back.
Correct.
There we go.
But right now, anything is up for game with these two guys. Right now, we hit the minute mark, and so far, Hunter's been doing a nice job riding in over the top, but Carey is just, once he gets going, he's just quick as a cat. Now Hunter's got himself a little bit high, and Carey's got a hold of his ankle, and now it's, again, getting back into the spaghetti wrestling. And this is where Hunter's got to be a little bit careful, because if he tries to stay here too long, he's going to give up more than the reversal. Still hanging in there, and now it's Carey's leg that's in a bad spot. But it's hard to not let him keep scrambling here. Now Hunter does a nice job of hooking it again, and he's back on top with 20 seconds to go. It's almost the point here now, Ken, you if you're the Iowa Grant coaches, I'm sure Ryan Allen's over there saying, don't hang in there too long. Don't give up the reversal.
Yep.
13 seconds to go.
You're right. You want to be able to feel anything and everything that might be coming from Carey.
But it's still, Ryan is confident that the young man has done a good job riding. He says this old tumbling move, stay with him. Oh, now he's coming around. Now Hunter's got to be careful that he doesn't get tossed here. Step over, step over. Oh, now it's Carey that's in trouble. Ref's not even going to look down there. Doesn't make a difference. Still another fine match. Boy, you really want to give a round of applause for that one. 3-1. Hunter Stevens comes out on top, and there will be no wrestle back. That's how they'll finish, and that's how they'll go to Madison. Hunter Stevens, Rowan Carey, and Gunnar Wopat.
Quite the job. Well, we're going to move to 138 pounds. And again, this will be a dandy one, as we're going to see in the third place match, Sean Duffy of Riverdale is going to step out onto the mat. 37-10. He's going to be taking on Wayland Hargrove, a sophomore from Aquinas, 29-14. That is going to be a dandy match to get to the state tournament. Meanwhile, Reed Sawyer of New Lisbon is going to wrestle a very tough and undefeated Elliot Biba, the senior from Isle Grant Highland, at 32-0.
Breaking out some new uniforms here, Ken. I don't know if I've seen either one of these uniforms.
Oh, man, they are.
I don't know if I've ever seen that Iowa Grant uniform.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to see a New Lisbon uniform that's mostly gray.
Yep.
A nice move by Biba, though. You take this one, Ken. I'll watch Duffy down on the other end.
Well, Biba has just been a machine with takedowns all the time throughout these last couple of weeks. We watched him last Tuesday night, folks, at the team sectional. He actually weighed in just a touch over 138. He was a 144-pounder, and he went all the way up to 150 and picked up a win against the Lacrosse Aquinas squad. But then here he is now, obviously, at 138 pounds. He's fighting off a takedown attempt here now by Hargrove, as it's 2-1, and we're going to get a quick stalemate.
Sawyer, sorry.
Yep. I knew I was going to do that sooner or later.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, just,
as he changed his uniform, it's hard to say that's New Lisbon out there. Really
I know, yeah.
That's a wonderful uniform, but it's just blue and white is what you expected.
Yep.
There's a lot of blue in there if you got close enough to it, but you got to remember Ken and I are up here in the top row, and it sure looks like mostly gray to us.
We're in the Bob Euchre seats.
The Bob Euchre seats.
But we liked it here.
Yeah, there you go.
It was,
still no score down there in the third place match. A couple of them been close to scoring.
Yeah.
Duffy, the senior down there, looking to punch his ticket to the state tournament. But Waylon Hargrove, the sophomore, says, I got a lot of teammates I know are going to go down there, and I want to go with them.
I want to be on that bus.
Yep.
It's going to be a stalemate again. Now a nice shot here on the single leg, and it's a very quick single leg dump. And Biba has another two on Reed Sawyer.
Really, Elliott is wrestling so well, and I'm not going to say that it's, maybe the deck is stacked against him, but when you got a three-time state champion from Dawson Johnson, I believe is his name, on the other side here somewhere. It's going to be one interesting final, and he's going to go there and see if he gets a shot at it.
Well, a minute 57 is all it takes as Biba is going to pick up the pin over Reed Sawyer of New Lisbon, a 1:57 pin time.
No score down on our third place match. Now it's really up to Sean Duffy. He's got to win to get in anyway, but if he wins to get in, he's going to stay in the same spot in third place as he's already wrestled against Reed Sawyer from New Lisbon.
Hargrove, of course, would like to come up with a win, and then that means he would have a wrestle back.
Yep, he'd like to spoil that parade.
Well, we'll see how that kind of works here as we turn the mic back over to Kirk.
Well, it's 1-0 right now in favor of Hargrove, and they get in that spaghetti position too. But right now it's Duffy who's trying to come out the backside. Hargrove still in over the top, locked up on a single leg, trying to figure out how to keep that to his advantage. But Duffy still he's locked in the through the groin area, and there's the stalemate. That's about the best Duffy could help for there. So we're getting close to the halfway point. Remember, we still have our women's championships coming up here in just a short while, probably about another hour or so. And then we'll get into hopefully just less than a half a dozen wrestlebacks.
Yeah.
And we'll have our crew set for the state tournament.
Just a reminder that next week, well, Wayne and Shelley Keenan, myself, and Carl Zuby will be at the state tournament. Kirk might pop up and say hi and have a word or two with us. And but everything there is going to be tape delayed. It'll be on the Western Wisconsin Video Production WWVP YouTube channel, and that'll come up sometime late the following Sunday after the state tournament. We'll try and get everything downloaded and on the YouTube channel.
Like you say, that's pretty well locked in. The WIAA has control of all of their, especially their championship events, as far as who's going to broadcast them and telecast them. And so it's still a nice thing that they allow or permit other people to at least tape it.
Yeah, I appreciate that a ton because I know I always get people that will come back and say, hey, really enjoyed being able to go in and watch certain matches at certain times, and you can only watch maybe half an hour, and then you come back 2 hours later or whatever it might be. And
well, the other nice thing about your broadcast is Duffy now trails down there 3-0 as you've been watching him, and he needs his third period is going to have to be a big period for him. But the televised broadcast, other than the finals from the WIAA, you have to pay for that,
right.
And yours, like you say, within a week or so, it's out there, and you can watch any match you want to watch.
Yep.
Granted, I shouldn't say any match because you don't have 8 cameras, do you?
I probably have 6.
Oh, really? Okay, so you try to broadcast as many matches as you can, huh?
I'll have 4 I'll just have 4
just
cameras
do 4,
up there.
okay.
Yeah. The video side of things, I can only do the quad picture.
Okay, good.
I haven't talked Lori into letting me buy a certain piece of equipment. There you go.
Duffy gets on the scoreboard here now. It's 4-2. So the next takedown can get Duffy back into this match. But Hargrove still, he's not willing to relinquish his spot. He's doing a nice job of staying tough in there. But Duffy did do a nice job of fending that off.
Yeah.
And now it's 4-2 in a minute 18 to go.
Again, Duffy is senior, trying to get to the state tournament.
Hargrove, a sophomore. Hargrove wins, we will have a wrestle back here.
Correct.
But if Duffy can come back, that'll be one more weight class that'll be set for the state tournament. Right now, though, Hargrove is I would say, would pretty much been the aggressor and had the quicker feet. And again, he comes around with a quick takedown, and now he has a 6-2 lead. And now it's a case of Duffy's got to really get going, and an escape and a takedown isn't going to be enough, as we're down to the last 40 seconds. And I guess the wrestlebacks at this point of the tournament don't mind quite as much.
Yeah.
But when we get to those upper weight classes, it gets a little more troublesome.
Well, the nice thing is we'll have the women's championship in between there, so we won't have to worry about that half-hour rest time.
Yep.
That should not be a factor for us.
No, that should take care of a lot. It is Hargrove just picked up some more back points. So we will have a wrestle back here at 138, and that will be against Waylon Hargrove as he will take on Reed Sawyer from New Lisbon.
So they're both going to the state tournament. It's just a matter of what position.
Yep. Final score 8-2, and a fine career by Sean Duffy here ended today in Mineral Point High School. But he did a fine job and represented Riverdale Chieftains very well.
Oh, yes.
So your champion there is Elliot Biba, and we'll decide second and third in a little while. Setting the stage here now for 144. This is another tough action that we'll see coming out here. We got 3 or 4 real quality individuals out here. Definitely Ian Krapp, a state runner-up last year, taking on the fine freshman Brock Hinderman from Iowa Grant Highland. And then in your third place, another state qualifier, Colin McKittrick, a senior, taking on the junior Zach Moline from Aquinas.
That was a great matchup last week in the championship match where there was a bit of a scramble. It was a tie match, and then all of a sudden what happened there was Moline got himself a little bit extended, and when he got extended, McKittrick came up in a headlock position. He didn't throw, well, he might have thrown it, but he wound up picking up the takedown and the pin.
Wow. McKittrick gives up the early takedown there. No takedown yet in the championship match. I mean, this Hinderman kid, we saw him, well, I saw him up at the Devil's Duels in Wisconsin Dells, and there you kind of blended in with everybody else, and with 32 teams wrestling there all the time, it's hard to, but boy, once we saw him at Wrestling Center, he was impressive there.
Right.
But he's got a tall task here. Ian Krapp is one of the more experienced and successful wrestlers for Fenimore in his senior year. So this is kind of, he's had a great year so far. Runner up at the Cheesehead, it's just awesome.
Well, we're going to get a takedown here by Moline as they went out of bounds. He just got the knee in, says our official, and it's 4-1.
Krapp would probably have a SWC Clash championship too if it wouldn't have been for a young man by the name of Owen Sefferud from Darlington Blackhawk that he had to wrestle. And Sefferud this year, after he finally was able to convince Rhett Koenig to graduate from Prairie du Chien, he's finally going to maybe have his shot at the state tournament title.
McKittrick comes up with an escape here, and now he's going to shoot in, trying to get a fireman's carry. He's going to tie this match up at 4 apiece.
As we talked about earlier, that match down there is a survival match. If you want to be in Madison, you got to win down there first.
Yep.
If you want a second place, that might be a different story. But if you don't win down there, you're going home.
Yep. No change here as they went out of bounds right at the buzzer. We'll keep the score at 4-4.
4-1 in the championship match. So far, it has been mostly all Ian Krapp with 2 takedowns.
McKittrick says, I'm just going to let him go. Rather be on my feet. 5-4 now. Moline with the lead. Quick duck under there, but McKittrick blocks that off.
First period ends in our championship match, 4-1.
McKittrick trying to get in underneath for a fireman's again. Front headlock series by Moline to block that off. Still neutral position here. McKittrick trying to sneak around the side. A whizzer being thrown in by Moline.
Moline, only a junior here.
Yep. Moline's going to get the takedown.
Yeah, he is.
Just a little too much leverage there on Colin McKittrick's arm, and he couldn't stop the move.
Oh, wow, that was, I'd say rather quick, but whatever. Wrestling's like a lot of other sports, even you can keep your head up and keep moving, you can always be considered the aggressor.
Yep.
You know. Even in all the other sports, if you can keep your head up and keep moving, you can potentially score. You know, when your head's down, you don't look the same as far as an athlete. And,
Yep.
and that's why when people talk about stalling, that's one of the things that makes it somewhat easier for the official. If your head's hanging down and you really aren't staying in that upper activity level.
Well, here we're going to get a warning stalling now on Moline. He's just kind of hanging out back on the hips of McKittrick. With 34 seconds remaining in period number 2, it's 7-4. Moline.
Ian Krapp doing just a super control job out here against the fine young freshman, Brock Hinderman. He leads there 6-1 now.
Oh, Moline comes in with a arm bar and a far side half Nelson, and he has Colin McKittrick in some trouble here.
Looks like the fine career of this this senior could be ending here today in Mineral Point, and there it is.
Tough break.
You could just say, though, that Moline just wrestled a fine match here, you know. I'm not saying that Colin wrestled on below what his level was, but Moline had it cranked up a notch, it looked like.
He looked very determined, yes.
So he will move on. At this point is your third place finisher. And he did lose. Moline did lose to Krapp, so if this championship match stays the way it is, it'll be Hinderman having to wrestle Moline for second place.
Okay.
So right now it's looking like we're going to have a wrestle back at this weight class too.
6-1 your score.
Up 6-1, got some, must be some blood time, and it's kind of blood time where it looks like maybe cut time. When you go get the trainer, that usually means that it's something the coach can't just figure out with a piece of cotton.
Right.
Fix there, I think it's a little bit of a scratch or cut or wherever on his face. Ian Krapp is going to be down to start the third period. Ken said earlier, 6-1 lead here at 144. A little bit of quick start there by Brock Hinderman. That's going to end up costing him a point. He must have had a couple other cautions earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Don't see that too often. More than likely, it was a bunch of quick starts. Gotta be careful there, Brock. Gave up the escape and had his headgear out of line and wanted to adjust it back to where it needed to be, but I don't think I'd take a break against Krapp. Trying to fix him. I understand you can't wrestle him if you can't see him, but you're reaching for your headgear and he's maybe shooting at your legs. That's a tough spot to be. 8-1 though now in favor of Ian Krapp. Oh, nice try for a slide by there. Arm drag takedown, but wasn't able to catch a leg by Krapp on the way by. Now Krapp tries a shot at a single himself. Two well-matched athletes, but you can definitely see the experience level here of Ian Krapp showing up. Getting close to a takedown here by Krapp as he just continues to work over the top. Finally, he showed enough control. The officials believed in that too. So now it's a 10-1 score. We got 45 seconds to go here. Krapp may let him go again. Hard to say what he's going to do. He's in control here. Just, you know, I don't think they're really looking at team scores, but it is always kind of interesting, even in a sectional, to see what the team scores are.
It is.
I see Fenimore is winning right now. Iowa Grant not that far behind. Team scores theoretically mean nothing here, but I'll guarantee you next week, even though they don't really post it up on the board, there's still a trophy at stake next week.
Right.
You said last year Aquinas came out of there. They didn't win the the team state tournament, but they got the trophy from the individual state tournament.
That's done by the Wisconsin Coaches Association.
Ian Krapp now, 25 seconds to go, 10-2 score. He's definitely in control here. You know, just a matter of does he want to add to his point total or not. Nothing for the freshman to hang his head about, but he's going to have to re-gear up here because he's going to have a wrestle back. Going to go to the state tournament, though, so he did what he needed to do to get there.
Yeah.
That's going to be your final. 10-2 will be it. Just as I say that, he tried to go for a throw at the end and almost scored some more points, but neither one scored there. I can't read that.
317 watching.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, everyone.
That's wonderful.
We appreciate you watching our feature here today. We know partly it's maybe not Ken and I, and it's the quality of action that we're showing today, but we do appreciate that, and so do our sponsors.
Right.
Thanks a lot, and keep enjoying the action. We still have some barn burner matches coming up here, going on in basically the second half of the championships here.